section, we're going to be talking about how to share and repost other people's content. Now, when it comes to LinkedIn, you don't necessarily have to create original content every single time, right? And a lot of times we may not have enough time or energy or resources to constantly keep pumping out fresh content. So one of the best strategies you can use is to remix content and basically, share other people's content, give your opinion on that content while giving credit to the original creator, because you always want to do that, obviously. So I'm going to give you some tips, some tricks, some examples of how you can do this. And it's going to be great for anybody who may struggle when it comes to creating content, and maybe you just want to repost content and really just share your opinions. And let's go ahead and dive right into it. All right, so sharing and reposting content. So it's generally okay to repost other people's content, right? You can literally take their content and put it on your profile and share it as a post, but you gotta make sure that you give credit to the original creator, okay? Obviously, make sure you give the credit to original creator, but if you're, posting a video of someone's face on it, right? Obviously, you kind of already credit them because that's not you, right? So it's very clear that you're not stealing work. The main thing is you're not trying to steal work and pass it off as your own and change their name to your name. You're really just remixing content, and you're almost like a DJ, right? A DJ doesn't steal music. They play other people's music and they give credit. And so a couple ways you can do this is you can share someone's content directly from LinkedIn, and I'll show you how this works on the platform, and it'll automatically show where the source came from, right? And don't worry, I'll show you exactly how that works. And you could also share a link to another person's video, an article, or whatever it is. And the thing is, it's better to use a link that is a LinkedIn link, like a LinkedIn article or something like that, to get more exposure. If you are linking outside of LinkedIn, you risk the chance of your post not getting as many views. So if you just take a YouTube video and put it on your LinkedIn, sharing a LinkedIn video that's not yours, you could do it that way and write something to give your opinion about that, but you may not get as many views compared to if you download that video and re-upload it directly onto LinkedIn. So obviously the better way to go is to natively post videos and photos directly on LinkedIn while giving credit to the creator either within the video or the photo, or putting it in your text of the copy of the actual piece of content. And it's very important that when you are reposting another person's content, you are adding your own perspective in the text section, especially, right? Because you can literally take a picture or video and just directly put it on your LinkedIn as a content. But, people are going to see it as blatantly stealing if you don't give some kind of opinion, a thought. It could literally just be one sentence of what you think about that. It could be something that happens in the news and you give, your spiel of what you think about whatever's going on in the news, right? What's your opinion? Or, some examples you can use is what's your opinion about that piece? What value can you provide to, further explain that piece of content? Explaining what problem that piece of content actually solves to help kind of spoon feed it to your audience so they can understand exactly why you're posting it. And a pro tip is to repost and share content that goes viral or any type of news people want to search right away. And that way you can piggyback off of the attention that piece of content is already getting, but kind of sharing that content to your audience, right? So, you don't have to create a viral piece of content. Instead, you can share a viral piece of content and just leverage that momentum and just, piggyback off of it. And that's totally okay, because this is a common practice that a lot of content creators do on all platforms. And as long as you are giving credit to who actually created that piece of content, that is okay. So now that you understand how this kind of works, let's go ahead and go into LinkedIn itself so I can show you, how this looks. All right, so we are on LinkedIn right now, and we're gonna go through a couple profiles so you have an idea of how it works when you're sharing content, right? So right now I am on Ray Dalio's LinkedIn profile, and when you go into their profile, you can sort by activity, articles, posts. So we're in posts right now, right? So essentially I can see all of Ray Dalio's posts. And if you don't know Ray Dalio, he is entrepreneur, investor, and I'm a fan. He has a couple books, so you should check him out if you're interested. So anyways, the point is, he's posting content every day, and he basically writes one sentence about, a principle of the day. And the content is literally just a quote, right? Watch out for people who think it's embarrassing not to know. So he gives a lot of investing advice, business advice, and basically he'll write, a little description of what this actually means, in more detail about the actual quote, right? So if you wanted to, let's say something really resonated with you, for example, let's say, be clear on whether you are arguing or seeking to understand. and think about which is most appropriate based on your and others' believability. So if I'm like, okay, wow, this is really, really touching my heart right now. So how do I share this? Well, first of all, what you got to do is you press the share button right here, and you press share. What's going to happen is you can write a little comment of what you think about this piece. You can even tag Ray Dalio or whoever you're sharing the post with. And that works really well, right? Because this works because if you just say like, you could tell a story like when I was younger, ... and then you'd like tell a story about when you were younger and you were, I don't know, let's say arguing instead of seeking the truth, and you have a relatable story that kind of connects to this quote. Then you can share the quote, write your piece. This could be one sentence, could be a whole essay. It depends on what you want for when you're sharing it. And then basically you post it and it will share on your profile. Now, when you share, what's going to happen is it's going to show this part over here. So everyone knows that you got this from Ray Dalio or whoever you're quoting or whoever you're sharing their content from. And you're giving direct, credit to the person that actually created the original thing. And you're giving your opinion on whatever it is. You want to tell a relatable story, or you agree with him, you disagree, whatever the case is, right? And that's pretty much how you share content on LinkedIn. So whatever, industry you're in, you definitely follow the people that are, I guess, LinkedIn influencers that you can kind of share from. And, obviously the bigger they are, the more viral they are, the better content they have, and the easier it is for you to share good content, right? Because you want to just follow a bunch of people in your industry that makes sense and give your opinion when things come out. So that is Ray Dalio example. So let's go ahead and discard that. But let's say, let's go ahead and give you another example of Matt Higgins, right? So he's the CEO and co-founder of RC Ventures, venture capital firm, investment firm. Okay, so essentially, if you go to post, right? So it works for any person. They don't have to be a LinkedIn content creator. You can check my profile, anyone's profile. It's the same thing, right? You go to post and you see what posts they have. So I want to go on his profile because I want to share with you his strategy where. Let's say this recent video came out 17 hours ago, right? And so what they did is they took a video, right, that I do not think they actually produced this video. I think Motivation by, like another person did this. And they're basically reposting content. And so he's giving his opinion on Jeff Bezos and, Jeff Bezos' business growth strategy. Okay, cool. And as you can see, this video itself, even though he didn't create it, he just took it from somewhere else, put it on his profile, and gave, his opinion about this piece of content. It's got 2,000, engagements here, 140 comments, 73,000 views. So he successfully took another person's content, repurposed it for himself, remixed it, added his own opinion on it, added the hashtags, and now he's getting views, right? And so for some content creators, this is a really big part of their strategy where, let's say this is another example of Warren Buffett, right? Bill Gates over here too. So he's taking popular people like Jeff Bezos and Warren Buffett and basically piggyback off of their success and their brand and familiarity and just reposting on his profile, right? So he just gives writes a little essay, maybe a couple sentences about his thoughts on whatever this piece is. This is only a minute video, 47 seconds, 73,000 views, right? And he's not creating anything. And obviously, he's going to have his own stories and his own thing going on in terms of his investments and his success. But, essentially, you can just be writing about different stories like Blockbuster, right? He didn't take this picture, but he probably found it online and has an opinion about it. Or like this quote, I'm not sure if he created this. No, he didn't create this. Here's the credit to whoever created this, but he just kind of shares, let's say, a viral meme or a viral anything or, a checklist or anything. He writes his opinion, right? This one, I actually saw this YouTube video where Elon Musk did the interview. And again, he just takes the video completely, pretty much how this works is you download the video, you take the part that you want, and he probably took a 2-minute, 19 seconds. And he probably has a team that does this, but you could do it yourself. And then you upload the part you want, and then you write your opinion about it, add the hashtags, and that's your piece of content. And look, this piece of content has almost 300,000 views. Did he create it himself? No, he just piggyback off of the news that's happening with Elon Musk, and that's his content, right? So if you go on his profile and other people's profile, you can see that many people do this because they don't necessarily want to create their own original content, but they want to piggyback off of the name and success of other people. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just you're remixing content like you are a DJ, right? And so there's nothing wrong with repurposing content as long as you're giving credit. It's not like he's, saying that he made the video or like he's, putting a quote in and putting his name under it when someone else really did it, right? It's just the only thing that he's adding to this piece of content or these pieces of content is these little text, a couple sentences to give his opinion. And that's pretty much what you want to do in your industry, right? Especially if, let's say, you're in an industry where there's a lot of news going on. For example, you can go on Business Insider or any Forbes or Entrepreneur Magazine, whatever it is that you like to read. And if you find something interesting, you can literally just share your opinion, share this piece, share the article, take a picture from it and say, hey, this is credited from Business Insider, and then share it, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. Or if you're like a tech person and you're selling into technology, well, TechCrunch is a good place, right? People raising funding all the time. So you give, like, for example, if Clubhouse closes a $4 billion valuation, and if you're in an investment firm, then you talk about like why this is very important for the investment world, right? So wherever you get your news source, that itself can be pieces of content. You can also do what this guy is doing and just get viral videos that are already popular on YouTube and other social media and just repost it on your profile. Or you can just, go on other LinkedIn influencers profiles and you can just share their content, like literally just press the share button and share their content. And that's your piece of content and add your opinion on it, right? So those are a couple different ways you can repurpose other people's content in an ethical way where you're not stealing, you're just sharing, remixing, and adding your opinion. And yeah, so that is it for this video, and I will see you in the next.